All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Nickavelli TV.
Oh man, my name is Kev, man, on Nickavelli TV, man. East Side Harlem, 115 and Lex. See what it is already.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Knick fan?
Knick fan all day, every day, for years.
Right. For years?
For years been a Knick fan.
How long you been a Knick fan?
I've been a Knick fan for about 30 years now.
Damn. So who's your favorite player?
Right now, or who was my favorite player?
We going from the back to the new, baby.
Well, but from the back, from the era I started watching the Knicks, my favorite player was Bernard.
Bernard King?
Bernard was my favorite.
What you liked about Bernard King game, man?
His overall game, he had that everything, the handle, the down low, the post game. He had it all, the turnaround jump shot, even after he got injured. When he got injured, then you seen what his game really evolved to. That turnaround, he had developed that turnaround. Unstoppable. Bernard was unstoppable. Name another player that was virtually unstoppable.
So
we ain't talking about Kobe, LeBron, all
you
that
like
bullshit.
him?
That's
You
a
like him
different
better?
era.
You like him better than Patrick Ewing?
Do I like him better than Patrick Ewing?
Yeah.
I would say he was a more better all-around player than Patrick. Patrick was more center. Patrick did what he did: block shots, rebound, got his points. Bernard was able to he was able to create his own shot, set up shots for other players. He was able to do a little bit more than what Patrick did. Patrick did what he did. Patrick was solidified in what he did. As a center, he solidified that position as a center. Can't say nothing away from him. But if you had to ask me between the two, I would have to give Bernard the edge as far as being a more rounded player overall. I would have to give the edge to Bernard. Can't take nothing away from Patrick, but to me, Bernard was just a more rounded player than
Patrick Ewing. Okay. Now, speaking of Patrick Ewing, right? Being that I mentioned him.
Right.
Was you let down by him? Did he let you down? Do you think people have the right to say that Patrick Ewing is a bum?
Nah.
Some say that's crazy to even say that about
crazy
that.
To say the man is a bum. To say Patrick is a bum, like I would have to ask, what's your reason? What makes you say Pat is a bum? Because in that one, in the championship series, when everybody felt he should have dunked it, instead of trying to finger roll it,
Right.
he missed.
Right.
Was I upset about that? Of course I was, like any other Knicks fan. I felt he should have went to the Baja, dunked that like he should have. He tried to roll it, it didn't happen, he lost. That don't make him a bum though. So that means if you want to say he's a bum for that, then that means he's done nothing in his entire career. If you want to base that one play against his entire career, saying he's a bum, I couldn't even hold a conversation with you saying that. You know what I mean?
I'm
Say
saying
Patrick is a bum, you can't even be a basketball fan saying that. You're not a true basketball fan. You're just a fan of a certain player and you hate Patrick Ewing.
okay, enough said.
That's how I look about that.
Moving right along. John Starks.
John Starks?
You a fan of his game? You like this game?
I like this game. I like the Starks game because Starks had no fear. He didn't care who you was. He didn't care if you was the top man in the league or the bottom man in the league. Starks was going at you. That's what I liked about his game. And he played D. He got up on you and played that D. He wasn't scared. See, when you talk about these players, the Starks, the Ewings and all of them, then you're really talking about a different era of the game to what it is now. You can talk that LeBron, they all just down the third. That's fine and then. They got their stats, they just down the third, they in the, they're gonna go down as one of the greatest. But I don't think none of them would have had the stats they got now if they played in that league with them boys back then. That's just
You don't think so?
The league was too different. The league back then, you was able to play real D. I don't call what they playing now defense in this league. I don't call what they playing now defense.
So if I was to mention some players on the Knicks right now, you familiar with the Knicks roster today? Kevin Knox. Stop me. Who you think play D? Kevin Knox, Alonzo Mourning, Mitchell Robinson. He plays D. Mitchell Robinson averages 3 blocks.
Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, did he not lead the league in blocks and rebounds last year? In one of those categories?
Yeah, one of them.
Either blocks or rebounds, he led the league. Now, Robinson, which I'm glad the Knicks decided to keep him, because I'd have really been disappointed if they'd have got rid of him. You keep a guy like Knox because Knox has nothing but upside to him. You already see what he can bring you. You already see you do. What centers you know in this league right now is consistently blocking 3-point shots on a constant? Who's getting out blocking 3-point shots? He's only going to get better.
Mitch, right?
Mitch is only going to get better. Knox is only going to get better. The little crew we got right now, I love it because we got bangers now. Y'all done brought people in. You brought in and I love him. They keep talking about
Julius
Zion. Randle. They keep talking about Zion, but he was Zion before Zion to me. He do the same. He got the same type of bully game Zion do. You just never really seen it when he was in LA because of everything that's going on. But when he got out of LA, we went to before he came to the Knicks, he was in I think Memphis or somewhere like that. He was somewhere before we picked him up.
I would want to say,
I'm not sure if it was Memphis, the Grizzlies, but he was somewhere. He was on the West, and you seen with his game.
I think he was with AD.
Matter of fact, he might have been over there. He might have been over there. He might have been over there with AD. But you seen more to his game because now he's able to get on the floor and you're able to see what Randle can do. Why it didn't work over there with AD, who knows? I'm glad we picked him up because I know what type of player he is. We need that type of player. We need a banger. The other kid we picked up, I like him too.
We got Alfred Payton.
Payton is a scorer. Payton is a scorer. What you need, we need a point guard that not only can create shots for others, but that can create shots for themselves.
So let me ask you this, because we got the undrafted Alonzo Mourning, right? Mm-hmm. And it's questionable what role he's gonna have, because we got Alfred Payton, we got Marcus Morris, we got Bobby Portis.
That's what I was meaning to mention. Another banger. See, we got bangers. And we got veterans like
But before you go there, Alonzo Mourning, do you think he's gonna have time finding rotation minutes with these new players we got? Is Alonzo Mourning gonna find himself playing in the second unit, being that we got Bobby Portis, Alfred Payton, Julius Randle? Talk to me, man.
I think they'll find a spot for Trier because Trier is one of those dynamic players. Just like Smith Jr. Those are, you have those type of dynamic players that they just have to get comfortable in their roles. Peyton, he's been in the league a while. He knows what it is to run a team. Portis, those are vets. They've been around long enough. They know what it is to run a team. Trier, he's going to come along. He has his moments. With Trier, he can get a little erratic at times. He'll just have to, what the coach has to do is calm Trier down a little bit.
So what are you trying to say? Alonzo Mourning is a ball hog?
Nah, not a ball hog. I won't say he's a ball hog in the sense of that, he just want to stand there and boom, boom. Sometimes he'll be undecided on what he want to do. Like he'll have a person playing D on him. He can make the quick move and get by him, or he can step back and take the jump shot. He'll get undecided at times, and then he'll start dribbling too much. That's what I mean by he'll have to calm that down.
Now the reason why I brought that up about him being a potential ball hog is because I don't know if you was aware, but you had Trey Burke and others, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Right.
They didn't want to play with him during practice. They didn't even want to practice with him. They say you don't pass the rock.
And who knows? That could be the case. I mean, from my understanding, with that situation, because I heard a little something about that situation, was he was getting at him in practice, like busting their ass. And
Alonzo Mourning was busting Trey Burke in the ass?
No, Burke in them. Trey Burke was busting their ass. And that's why, it was a little rift with them. They didn't like him, and that's why they wound up trading him.
Really? Do you miss Trey Burke as a point guard?
I do. I like the Trey Burke. I think Trey Burke, I'd have kept Trey Burke over Frank Ntilikina. I'd have kept him over Frank.
Would you keep Trey Burke over Dennis Smith Jr.?
Yep. At this moment, and let me tell you, only why? Because Trey Burke can run the offense better than Smith Jr. can. He's more decisive and more under control than Smith Jr. is. Smith Jr. is more athletic than probably all of them. Smith Jr. is probably the most athletic guard out of all of them. But if you're talking about running the offense and being able to get that ball to the right person at the right time, Trey Burke was doing that. I don't know why they got rid of him, but he was doing that.
Now, the reason why I think Trey Burke got traded is because he is nice. And Kris Porzingis was upset. He demanded a trade. And Dallas Mavericks said, okay, we want something.
Right.
We want something. So
this is what y'all gonna have to do.
we had to cough up Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Courtney Lee. Now, out of these three players, was you upset that Tim Hardaway Jr. left?
No, I'll tell you why. For as good as he is, he could sometimes. Tim Hardaway Jr. has an attitude problem. To me, you know, he's one of those. To me, Tim Hardaway Jr. is the type of player, when he's on, you know, you feel you on too much and you try to do too much. Let me ask you this. A couple of them games, when he was still there, a couple of them games that the Knicks lost was lost because Tim Hardaway Jr. Because you want to keep shooting. You off, but you keep shooting. You don't want to pass. You want to keep shooting. You want to keep shooting. You want to keep shooting. He was making critical mistakes at crucial times. And you being a veteran in the league, you was making rookie mistakes being a veteran.
Now, I want to touch on behavior. Because you said Tim Hardaway Jr. had a behavior problem, right? Mm-hmm. But what about my boy, how you doing? Dennis Smith Jr.
But see,
Dennis Smith Jr. got an attitude problem too.
But here's the thing.
Allegedly. So I'm hearing.
I haven't really seen that. But okay, allegedly. But here's the thing. You got basically a man and they're both in the league. Okay, we're both in the league. They're both men. But you basically have a man and a boy at the same time. Smith Jr. is still basically a baby coming into the league. He's still trying to find his way. Hardaway Jr., you've been in the league for how long? Getting it 10 years now? This is about, you done been on about what, 4 different teams? On the Knicks twice?
Okay, so he should know better, you telling me.
You know, you should have a certain understanding on how things are. Especially, you're a veteran. Your locker room presence is supposed to show that. You the vet. You basically, at the team we had then, you really was the vet. You supposed to be able to like bring a crew together and like, oh, come on, y'all, this is what you want to do, instead of putting blame on somebody because they missed a shot when you gave them the pass. Like, you know, when you start indirectly casting blame on your teammates instead of when your teammates say, listen, man, boom, we ran this play, you know, we wasn't supposed to do this, blah, 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 but this is how we're going to work it. No problem. We messed up on that one, but boom, we're going to get it right next time. Instead of, yo, we blew the game because, you know, he ain't do what he was supposed to do. Now, as the player, how you supposed to feel about what this man just said about you? Like, oh, you want to put this on me, like, boom, boom. So now, you know, the NBA is funny now. You know, you got these certain players that think they're nicer than what they is.
And was that Kris Porzingis' problem? I'm glad you said that.
What, being nicer than what he is?
Do you think he's nicer than what he is?
No,
he came to the Knicks.
Asking for the money that he was asking for?
Yeah.
Yes. You think you're nicer than what you is, because first of all, you ain't even proved anything yet. We seen what you can do. We seen your potential of what you can do. But then you got hurt. And Achilles at that. Everybody don't come back the same type of player after an Achilles injury. Then you asking, you're a free
$10 million?
agent, and you're asking for that type of money, and we don't know what type of player you're gonna be once you get back.
So the Knicks did the right thing.
They did the right thing. They sure did the right thing. They did the right thing. Now, and you know what I'm gonna say to all the Knicks fans that was talking about how
To all the who fans?
Knicks fans.
Go ahead.
This is for all Knicks fans.
Yes, go ahead.
That said, we fucked it up by not getting KD. But check this out. KD said he never had no intentions of coming here. So this is for all the Knicks fans that said we fucked up this offseason by not getting KD even with the injury.
So do you think he was
KD
lying
never
when he
had
said that?
I think KD was lying about never having intention to come here?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Because I don't think he never had no intention of coming here. Never.
Wow.
You know why? Him and Kyrie too. They couldn't handle, and I'm gonna tell you why certain players, certain top echelon players, won't come to New York to play. It ain't because you don't want to play because of the organization and all that, and it's not nobody players here, boom, boom. New York media is the roughest media in the world. Everybody cannot take New York media.
New York Knicks media, to be particular.
Well, we can go with New York Knicks media if we're gonna be particular.
Because they
Everybody
they're in New York, they just didn't come to they went off Broadway, as Nicovelli says. They went to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, they went off Broadway.
You know what I'm saying?
They won't be safe over there either if shit go wrong. Because New York media, look, you see the New York media, basketball, football, baseball. Let's take baseball when the last free agent that they came over here, and he hurt now. I don't want to get off the topic of basketball.
Yeah, let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic.
Anyway,
But yeah, all right.
But New York media is just ruthless. We are ruthless. New York media is ruthless. I don't care what type of player you are. You come here and don't produce, New York media are going to crucify you.
Let's talk about Officer Frankie. You know who that is. Officer Frankie, a.k.a. Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah.
He locked down no other than Kimball Walker in the Fiber Cup tournament.
Okay.
You impressed by that? Everybody talking about Frank Ntilikina. I want the kid to do well. I understand the situation.
Because the kid can play, the kid got the defense. Now, I'm not going to take that from him. Offensively, he'll probably still have to work on his game more. Defensively, he got it. He's long, he's rangy, and he got long arms. And he can move. He just got to learn how to move his feet better. He's not, and that's something that's going to come over time. You only been in the league 2-3 years. You know, everybody just don't have that knack to just have it all. You got to work on this shit. I like Frank. I liked this game. Would I have kept him over the guards they got rid of? No.
No?
But I like this game. He got good D.
So, should we keep him or should we ship him out?
Well,
Where do we
guards-
put Officer Frank at, man?
That's a hard one right now because all these guards we done picked up in the offseason.
Should we have Officer Frankie second unit?
More than likely, he's going to be second unit.
Kevin Knox second unit? Who's our second unit on the Knicks? Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, Alonzo Mourning. Do that sound about right so far?
As a second unit,
Them three?
Knox
Alonzo
Trier.
Mourning and Frank Ntilikina.
and Ntilikina, the second unit.
You don't know.
I would say yeah with Trier and Frank. Knox, not too sure. You know, it depends on how much he worked on his game this summer. You know what I mean? Depending on how much he worked on his game this summer.
All right. Carmelo Anthony. We all know his situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get a home with the New York Knicks or the Nets,
Right.
whoever.
Right?
He been blackballed, my opinion.
Uh-huh.
It all started with Phil Jackson and Mike D. They had it out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Jackson came to the Knicks trying to implement the triangle offense.
Right.
Wasn't for the Knicks. That was an old playbook style of game. It worked with the Chicago Bulls. Wasn't our style of game.
Right.
This is the outcome of it, man. Phil Jackson, long gone, man. Came as a team president, didn't come as a coach.
Right.
Do you think that Melo deserves a second shot, man?
I think you do.
And do you think he'll be able to compete?
Yeah. Only thing the issue with Melo is Melo want to start. He's not a starter no more. Like the teams that you went to, he wasn't a starter. Like if he can accept a 6-man role or coming off the bench, he never knows. That role, coming off the bench or being a 6-man or whatever, that's not a bad role. How many people you know come off the bench and put up 30? Jamal Crawford did it damn near his whole career. What's his name that with the Clippers now? Still doing it, been in the league damn near 20 years. He used to come off the bench.
Talking about Paul George?
No, he's the guard. He's a shooter too. You know, the Clippers now. He been around the league. He been on different teams on his journey through the NBA. Oh, what's this kid name, man? He on the Clippers, the guard.
Okay, but I get where you going, man. Like that would be a good spot for Melo.
It's not a bad role if you have to play that role, because you can still come off the bench and still wind up being in the game the whole game. You might be just a spark a team needs coming off that bench. Boom. Team is going through whatever. Boom. Melo checking in. We already know what you're looking for. We already know what you can do. Boom. Now you come in. You get to your old Melo shit, start firing. Boom, 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 boom. Melo lighten it up. That's the spark that's needed. Bring him back.
Free agency talk right now. Mm-hmm. We didn't get Zion Williams. We wound up getting R.J. Barrett. Was you disappointed by that? Some say Knicks lost out on the number 1 pick. Some actually like R.J. Barrett over Zion Williams. What's your input, man? Think R.J. got more ceiling than Zion?
I would say we lost out on Zion, yeah. But I wasn't mad at the second choice either. I wasn't mad at R.J. Barrett. I don't see why any Knicks fan would be, unless you just wanted Zion that bad. See, my thing is, let's look at a player's capabilities before the hype. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go with players more so on the hype. I watched them at Duke. I think R.J. Barrett had more of an upside than Zion, or more of a ceiling?
What about longevity?
I would say, as far as longevity, a good one. I would say longevity, yeah, because of their style of play and the way Zion plays.
How he bouncing around with all that weight, right?
That weight and that dunking, that flying around and all that, them plays don't last long.
So he's another Larry Johnson, grandma, mama.
Be that. And you heavy. You know what I mean? He going through issues now. Season ain't even start yet. He's going through issues now. When they was doing the preseason, that's why he didn't play too much during the preseason. You know what I mean? That carrying that weight, you bouncing around, you flying, and you dunking, and you boom, you strong and all that, and you banging and boom, boom, boom. All well and good. We got a player like that too that can do that. That's why I'm not mad that we didn't get Zion.
Okay, Kadeem Allen.
Kadeem Allen, like him.
Yeah.
Like Kadeem Allen.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis is a banger. What we need bangers, and we got that. Portis is a banger. Randall is a banger.
Reggie Bullock.
Banger. The other kid that we got from Taj Gibson will give you a double-double.
Talk to me about him. I'm not too familiar about Taj Gibson.
Taj Gibson?
Yeah.
He was down with the LeBron era and the Cleveland and all that. Boom, boom. Center. 7-footer. About 6'10", 7 feet. Give you 14, 15 rebounds. 10, 12 points. How much more do you need? See, what the Knicks need to focus on with these players, you get certain players that whatever their job is, that if they do well, do that. Like if your job is to rebound, this is what I want you to do. You get everything that come up off that rim. Snatch everything. That's your job. Boom. Or if your job is to box out, you box out. You clear everything out. You make sure nobody gets near. You make sure everything gets clear out. That's your job. Your job is to do whatever. Stick to that. You know, you get the guys that don't try to do other than what you need to do.
All right.
I mean, do what your job is. And I think we got players now that's going to do that. And I like the coach we got. I like Fizdale.
Talk to me about Fizdale.
I like
man.
Fizdale.
Out of all the coaches the Knicks had, man, we had Mike Woodson, we had Pat Riley, we had Isaiah Thomas. We had some
Isaiah's
coaches.
not really a coach.
Jeff Hornacek,
He was never really a
Doc
coach.
Rivers.
Doc was a coach, but he just didn't fit well in what was going on at the time. I liked it when we had Mike Brown. I was mad when we got Mike because it wasn't Mike Ford that the team went through what they went through. That wasn't him. He was giving.
You mean Mike Woodson?
Mike Woodson, I mean. Mike Brown, Mike Woodson. I was mad when we got rid of him. What they did to him, y'all blamed him, and the shit wasn't his fault. Look what he had to deal with. And he made the best and still turned basically a dead season into a half-ass one with what he had to work with. And y'all turned around and get rid of him. And you had players that liked him. See, and that's another thing. If players don't like you as a coach, they ain't gonna play for you. Not hard. Players like Fizdale. They ain't like Hornacek. Players they like Hornacek. Hornacek ain't no coach. I don't know why y'all get these dudes. It's like.
I mean, he did do a little something out in Phoenix.
But yeah, you can pull that style of play in the West Coast with that running gun up and down. So you come to the East Coast where they playing D in that half court, that up and down ain't working, and that whole system got exposed.
All right, my man.
That system got exposed out there.
And that's what it is, man. I want to thank you for coming on Nicavelli TV,
That's
man.
what it is, man.
To all my viewers out here, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Subscribe to Nicavelli TV, man.
And that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Peace.